Tuyen Quang is a mountainous province located between Vietnam's northwest and northeast regions, 145 kilometers and 140 kilometers away from Hanoi by Hanoi-Lào Cai Expressway and National Road number 37 or National Road number 2C respectively, and 120 kilometers away from Nội Bài Airport. With its natural area of 5,780 square kilometers, the province is administratively divided into 6 districts and 1 city comprising of 141 communes, 75 of which are in extremely difficult areas. There inhabits the total population of more than 750,000 people from 22 ethnic groups, more than 50% of whom are ethnic minorities. The population density is 130 people per square kilometer. Tuyen Quang has so far issued many specific policies to promote its potentiality, strengthen its administrative reforms, attract investment, and improve its people's lives. However, since its poverty incidence is as high as 27.81% as per the poverty line criteria of 2016 to 2020, and its GDP per capita is as low as of $1,368, accounted by 64.8% of national one. Tuyen Quang is still ranked as a poor province. Its local people, especially the ethnic minorities, women and children in remote areas, still face a lot of difficulties and have limited access to basic social services. As such, those problems need to be urgently solved by the province. Tuyen Quang has recently concentrated on attracting investments and sponsorship of various international organizations, enterprises, and partners for its socio-economic development in the forms of FDI, ODA, and FNGO support, among which FNGO's ads is one of the significant resources to support the local socio-economic development and poverty reduction programs, and contribute to the reduction of identified difficulties in project areas. The province has during 2011 to 2015 attracted 21 FNGOs with 49 programs disbursing over 104 billion Vietnam dong. Some significant projects with long-term activities include those funded by GNI, World Vision, the Vaccine Alliance, PRCF, Room to Read, VNAH, HEV, etc. For the first half of 2016, there were 13 projects disbursing 7 billion Vietnam dong financed by 10 FNGOs. These projects focused on supporting rural development, health, education, children sponsorship, volunteers, biodiversity conservation, etc. The projects funded by FNGOs have contributed to improve and enhance people's livelihood in project areas, ensure social welfare, gradually reduce poverty with their target groups being disadvantaged inhabitants, including women, children, disabled persons, and ethnic minorities in remote and special difficult areas. Construction of high-mode schools is reported to complete in 2 months, and this 8-classroom school with necessary facility will house 240 school kids. Here's our achievements gained by farmers in Sơn Commune, Sơn District, participating in production team over the past 5 years. The local farmers have improved their farming knowledge and skills, and their final products are having better access and easier linkages to market. As a result, their living quality has significantly improved. GNI support is to provide credit and technical training on vegetable cultivation. Since participating in its projects, my productivity has been bumper. The above-mentioned projects are only 2 amongst 10 projects funded by GNI whose total commitment of funding reached $4.5 million and whose disbursement accounted for $2.8 million. GNI is one of the FNGOs that has long-term and typical projects in Tuyen Quang. GNI's project usually focus on supporting rural development, education, children, pupil, constructions of educational infrastructure, livelihood development, clean water and sanitation, etc. After 5 years of implementation, those projects have achieved their substantial effectiveness and expanded their further goals.
Chúng tôi đánh giá
We
là
appreciate that
bước
the
đầu triển khai
initial
cũng đã đem lại những cái thành
implementation
công
brought significant
đáng khích lệ ban
results.
đầu.
We are
Chúng tôi
targeting to give children
đang
in
hướng tới
project
vì một cuộc sống
areas
trọn vẹn ý nghĩa
meaningful
cho mọi
lives.
trẻ em.
We are also
Trong vùng dự
supported
án,
by
chúng
relevant
tôi cũng nhận
partners,
được cái sự hỗ
example,
trợ
provincial
của
level
các đối
partners
tác
who create
liên quan
favorable conditions for
như
us
là ở
in
cấp tỉnh thì
simplifying
với sự vào cuộc và chỉ
administrative
đạo sát sao
procedures.
của cấp tỉnh thì cũng đã tạo điều kiện cho những cái văn bản rồi những cái thủ tục của chương trình thuận lợi hơn.
However, in comparison with the local needs and actual situation, the existing FNGOs is small in number, especially FNGOs fund for long-term projects, and activity implemented by FNGOs in remote and difficult areas are very limited. The province is making effort to mobilize aid from foreign non-government organizations with focus on disadvantaged groups such as women, children, poor, disabled, and ethnic minorities residing in rural areas, especially areas with extremely difficult socioeconomic conditions, such as Na Hang, Lâm Bình, Chiêm Hóa, Yên Sơn, and Hà Miên district. Tuyen Quang has a large area of arable land for agroforestry production, with farmers accounting for more than 70% of the province's population. In recent years, the province had made great efforts to invest in agriculture. The projects funded by CODESPA, PRCF, CEPF, EUCN, etc. so far have contributed to significant improvement of income of local people, especially poor ethnic minority, ensuring conservation of biology diversity, protection of natural ecological environment, and sustainable use of natural resources by providing them with knowledge on agroforestry production and undertaking sustainable livelihood solutions suitable to rural poor households in upland areas. The province is looking forward to receiving continued support from donors, international organizations, and NGOs in such areas as implementation of natural conservation projects in the special use forest areas of Na Hang and Lâm Bình district, building capacity for agriculture extension with tannery staff, ensuring sustainable livelihood for ethnic minority, poor and low-income households in districts of Na Hang, Lâm Bình, and Chiêm Hóa, development of aquaculture, strengthening the community's participation in management of resources, diseases, and environment with regards to aquaculture production. Tuyen Quang has 5 provincial-level hospitals and a network of health stations from district to grassroots level. In addition to the provincial internal effort, the projects assisted by FNGOs such as Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, IDE, American and Green Cross Switzerland have made substantial achievements in improvement of health services and people's lives. However, the province health network is in fact assessed as limited both in terms of quality and effectiveness due to inadequate equipment and unqualified staff. Especially at grassroots level, the province looks forward to receiving continued support from NGOs in improvement of health infrastructure, provision of health equipment, especially for communal health stations, building capacity for staff, upgrading Hương Sen Rehabilitation Hospital, construction health station in extremely difficult areas of the province. Education is always regarded as one of the key priorities of the province. At present, the province has 481 schools and 190,000 students from preschool to high school levels. The schooling network is distributed to village level. In recent years, NGOs such as GNI Room to Read, World Vision VNAH, Fulbright Program, funded by the U.S. Embassy to Hanoi, and Scope Global, have launched substantial support projects which have contributed to enhancing the education quality, particularly in remote villages. However, there are still lacks of cemented classrooms in remote areas. The teaching quality is limited, lives of many children face difficulties, etc. In this field, the province looks forward to receiving support from NGOs in investing in the educational infrastructure, construction of new classrooms, public house, building capacity for educational management staff and teachers, providing teaching equipment and training materials, providing short-term training courses and English tutors for secondary schools, funding for primary school kids' lunches in difficult commutes, providing health care for preschoolers and pupils. In this field, Tuyen Quang Province looks forward to receiving NGOs support on projects such as improvement of capacity building through provision of training courses for female staff at grassroots level who are directly involved in poverty reduction projects, especially ethnic minority females in remote areas, so as to raise their awareness and change their behavior with an aim to minimize child marriage, help women start up their businesses, adapt to climate change, and develop community tourism.
Tỉnh Tuyên Quang thì ghi nhận và đánh giá cao sự hợp tác.
We acknowledge and highly appreciate the attention and cooperation of NGOs, international organizations, and donors. We are always willing to welcome and open our cooperation towards international organizations, NGOs, and donors in the cause of provincial socio-economic development. We are committed to creating favorable conditions, especially strengthening reforms of administrative procedures to give close collaborations in effective implementation of all projects in the province. We could continue to beef up the communication to raise the awareness of agencies at all levels, particularly raise people's awareness about the role and the position of programs implemented by NGOs. These aim to fortify the better cooperation in programs, implementation funded by NGOs, international organizations, and donors.
Thực hiện các cái chương trình dự án của các cái nhà tài trợ, các cái tổ chức quốc tế, các cái tổ chức phi chính phủ sau này sẽ thực hiện nó hiệu quả và tốt đẹp hơn.
With significant results gained by the province over the past years and the agency's determination and effort in coming time, Tuyen Quang warmly welcome and commits to collaborating with donors, international organizations, and NGOs to bring the better life to Tuyen Quang people.